All right, good morning. Ken Smith, I've got a guest with me this morning. Introduce yourself.
Hey, Richard Owens, Norman, Oklahoma, Boomer Center.
Boomer Center. It's like a junior college or community college, right?
That's right, that's right.
They just netted a fish in front of us here. I don't know if they're putting their net up. Anyway, so it's Sunday. What is it, 10th? 10th or 11th of February. Triple T yesterday. We had 21.5 pounds. That video will have already been posted. If you have not seen that video, man, we had a ball on one spot. We just caught him and caught him and caught him and caught him. We had a double, and there was about a 40-minute span there before the mud got to us, where we literally got bit at least every other cast. So we've had a very significant temperature swing. It's 38, I think I saw on the truck. Is that what it was? So it's a 25-degree temperature swing since yesterday evening and this morning. The water temp's about the same. We really hadn't had a water temp change, but this will conk them in the head a little bit. So Richard and I talked this morning. I think we're going to go out and, obviously, based on what we saw yesterday, try to find some drag fish on some edges of some creeks. So I don't know how much footage we'll get today, but that's what we're going to try. And if we get enough footage today to do a full report, we will. If not, we'll include a day or two more. We're out here for today's Sunday. We're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practicing. Can we practice Wednesday? I can't remember if Costa is. Yeah, we can. So anyway, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to roll out of here now and go try to get a bite. So stick with us. Here we go.
Little baby. Looks a little better.
It's giant, but it's better.
They probably don't want grass on it.
I think the big one got off. That happens to me a lot. You know, I stick a big one and he'll get off, and then the little one will grab it right behind it. I bet you there's a lot of fish right there. I bet that was not the same fish. Does Excalibur still make baits?
I don't think so. I haven't seen them in a long time. I wonder who bought them. That's always the question, right?
Another one. I told you there was a lot of fish right there.
Out there on in the middle of that string, aren't they? How's that?
I think the big one got off again, and I got that little one.
You got another little one.
But they're still fun to catch.
Yes, they are.
They're getting smaller, though.
They are.
You know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go in and try to catch another one.
No,
I know it. Wasting these tournament quality fish.
Oh yeah.
they're building that big bay boat, that 26-foot saltwater boat's a big deal for them. What are you doing there, Ken?
It's taking me long to get around the grass to get this.
I just had one rattle.
That's a decent little chunk. Look at that, man. You think he likes that color? Good morning, boys and girls. Ken Smith here, day 2 of practice. It's Monday. Kevin Treese in the back of the boat. I won't show you him today at all, unless I absolutely have to. But we just pulled up on our first spot, and that's the first cast that I hit grass with. And Kevin said he just had one whack it. So got our poles down. We're gonna make a few casts here and see what's right here. Saw our practice yesterday. Lots of little fish. I don't think we could have weighed 12 pounds. So we're just gonna keep doing it. We've moved to a whole different section of the lake, and we'll see what's up here today. With gloves on to get a hook in my finger. Sorry, dude, I don't mean to keep hooking you. It's a solid fish and 49.7 degree water temperature. Solid fish. That is a 1/2 ounce Bill Lewis rattle trap, but it's a knocker. Hey, my videos,
yeah,
they're about the same length as the fishing show. Because they're 17 to 22 minutes, which is about what you get in a 30-minute fishing show.
Yeah, it is. I've been watching. I got Jesse at work. He's hooked on.
By the way, I flipped the camera off, but that's 2 casts later.
They wouldn't be back here unless there's fish back here.
Dang right they would. Kevin Treese, Oklahoma bass angler. What's that weigh, about 6?
He's a little shy of 6. Somewhere shy of 6.
Well, what you don't know is Kevin's the size of Andre the Giant. So Kevin's 7'9", 450 pounds. So that was actually a good fish.
You doing, kid?
That dude was full of water.
You on that little swim bait?
He was right at the base of that little bush. And that's a decent fish.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude.
I mean, Phil Marks would go, God, tiny one. For me, it's a decent fish. I rolled that bait off there and all of a sudden the bait disappeared.
Any old time now. Come on, big girl. That fish just loaded up. I mean, didn't whack it or nothing. Just loaded up on it. Oh, sorry. Best fish of the day. You know it? Yep.
She got the bottom hook in the mouth. She'll weigh 3.5. Hey, don't be small eyeing me back there, Iaconelli.
Okay. Well, you know.
That fish will weigh 7.
Somewhere less.
If Mike Iaconelli caught this fish, he'd weigh 7.
It's a giant. It's a giant.
It's a giant. That's a winning fish. That's $1 million fish. A tournament with a $100,000 interest.
Yeah.
Straight up lucky. Left that little hook out. That's why I throw that little lightweight wire hook. Because every once in a while you can bend them out. Now in a tournament I would not. That head would come off and I'd put one back on there. But since all I'm out here for today is to beat Kevin, I don't mind just bending it back.
How about that? You got
Well, he choked that one jig, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I was trying to get something I could get over there. Anybody looking?
Nope. I heard him crank, but I don't see him. Oh yeah, solid, almost 3. Pretty fish. Oh, fish after fish after fish.
What color trap you throwing now?
It's a metal one with a whole bunch of baits on it.
Okay.
I don't know what color trap to call this. Do you?
Yeah. Ornamental trap.
My partner is so observant. He's watched me fish for the last 10 minutes. He asked me what color trap I'm throwing.
Well,
Yes, I want to hear your defense, sir.
you were blocking.
Yeah, that's me. I'm so thick. Because you got that sandwich in your mouth.
Yep.
Sorry about that, little buddy. Actually, decent fish. Boy, he has got it in his grill. Wow, definitely. Look at that. Gimme. Gimme. This is why having hemostats is so key.
My dad gave me a whole bunch of dental tools from his office.
There we go.
Okay.
Hey guys, good morning from beautiful yet very, very foggy Sam Rayburn Lake in deep southeast Texas. It's the final day of practice for the Costa Wednesday. It's actually already 8 o'clock. It rained all morning, and truthfully, I didn't want to get out and just fish in the rain. It looks like it's going to push through now, the rain-wise, but it looks like we're going to have a fair amount of fog. So we're going to put the lights on. We're going to fish. We're not going very far till we can see a little bit better, which, based on the temperature, may be a really, really long time. So we may not get much fishing done today. I've got, I'm going to say 8 or 10, 12 places where I feel like I can catch a couple of fish. But with the warming water temperature, kind of what we've done in practice, it's going to change so dramatically over the next couple of days. I told somebody last night, I said, I'm not really worried, and I'm not really excited. You just got to go fishing and see what's happening. I'm sure some guys, Phil Marks has caught 31 and 37 pounds, 68 pounds the last 2 days he's been on the water that I know of. I'm certainly not on that kind of fish, but I would imagine the warming and the rising water is going to hurt him too. So water here this morning's 50. The water's come up almost a half a foot, 0.46 feet in the last few days, which tells me they're probably pouring some water out. So I think I hear Kevin sneezing walking down the ramp behind me. We're going to go out and we're going to fish around a little bit and see what we do, and we'll share with you what we can when it ain't raining, and then we're going to go back and get our tackle ready and go to our meeting. So back to you soon, we hope. Thanks.
Much that, just wow. There you go. All right, look at there. There's a decent
fish. So what I just did is we made a pass. We made our first pass over this spot where I've been catching some fish, and we didn't get bit. I fished it with an A-rig, but the water's come up a half a foot. So we turned around, and I came back over it shallower, and that fish come up there and slapped it. It's a good fish. Slapped it and come back and got it. I would take 15 of those and take my chances. You know it?
Yeah.
What's that fish weigh?
4-ish.
I think he's over 4. I'm not gonna weigh him. I really appreciate seeing you again in the next couple of days, sweetheart. See you later. Oh, and a little tail walk. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, this is hysterical. We're easing back into an area, and I see a bobber, and Kevin says, that ain't a bobber. He says, that's a coal ring. And so we went over here to get it, and it went underwater. Somebody called a fish with the ring still in it. We're gonna try to catch it. Give us a minute, we'll be back.
Come on, buddy.
I got him.
You got him?
I got him. Look here.
Here, get your camera on. Oh, you got it.
We saw a coal ring floating around. And we went to get it, and it went under the water, and I told him, I said, look at that, it's a coal ring. Oh man, he's had it in his face. Huh? Yeah.
I was wondering what the hell that was over there.
The question is that a legal catch?
You got him on your camera?
That's funny. That poor guy's been so beat up. Go down there and live. Attaboy.
Well, we rescued one today.
If that's your call ring, email me, Ken Smith, KenSmithFishing@Outlook.com, and I'll get it to you. Oh, that's awesome. There's one. Oh.
There, on there.
Kentucky rain keeps a pouring down. Ouch, ouch. Put a hook in my hand. Those are not what we're looking for.
That's not what you...
So that's a wrap on Wednesday, last day of practice. We didn't fish a whole lot. We fished probably a solid 4 hours, something like that. You saw me, I caught a nice fish this morning. We went around and fished some other fish, and the water's muddy. We spent quite a bit of time in there because there's been a big group of fish in there, and we had no bites. I come around here and I fished sort of out across the mouth of the canyons. And I had a couple of slaps on an A-rig, 2 of them knocked slack in my line, and neither one of them got it. My guess would be those are little fish, but the areas that we were working our way through, if there's bites there, they could be big monster giant ones. So probably won't be able to fish that tomorrow with a big south wind. We've got a lot of wind forecast. And then we went down and fished kind of in behind the forest some, and a couple of those drains through there, and I caught a little fish, and I had another slap, which again probably little fish, and I caught a trap fish somewhere. Oh, I caught another trap fish off some one of the spots Dickie and I had caught some fish off of that actually we didn't wind up weighing, but in the Texas Team Trail Saturday. Just off of that was another drain. That drain is in my mind, it's his drain. He found those fish, but there's another drain not far from there that's real similar. And we went down through there throwing shallow because of the fish we caught in the other spot and didn't get bit. And I turned around first cast throwing out deep over 6 or 8 feet of water with a rattle trap, and I caught a solid 2 3/4, 3 pound fish. So I think we've probably got 10 or 12 groups of fish to go to. As I said this morning, I'm not worried and I'm not excited. You just got to go fish. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we just got to go fish, and I think we'll both be around fish all day, and if we get bites, I think they'll bite your swim jig from what we saw yesterday. I think for sure they'll bite a trap, and I think for sure they'll bite an A-rig. We know they'll bite a Carolina rig based on what we saw Saturday. If somebody slows down for you fishing as a co-angler,
Right.
You can do that, or with your little slither rig, which is a real slick deal. I've never seen that. Kevin's throwing describe what you're throwing.
It's a skirted slip sinker, kind of like a punching bait with just a Texas rig behind it.
And that's a tungsten weight, right?
It's a tungsten weight.
So last year or 2 years ago when you...
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Randy Despino, if you're watching this, I'm not saying that this happened to you, but Kevin caught 23 or 24 pounds out of the back of Randy's boat, and if it had been me, my head would have exploded. So I would imagine it puckered him up a little bit, but he's just...
a good guy.
No, he's a great guy, actually. He and Kevin are both great guys, but he had a nice bite on that yesterday on a little creek swings up against a willow point. There's grass, and then there's sand, and there's willow bushes, and I think probably right when it come out of that sand is where you got hit. And he didn't pull on that fish, but it said it felt like a nice heavy fish, so there's a good chance I'll pull on that as well if I get over there. That's actually in Beach. I don't know that I'll get in that area, but I may. Tomorrow gonna be real windy, so it's gonna kind of limit the running around. You're gonna just kind of I've got 2 places in mind to start. And it's just kind of how it hits me in the morning as to where I'll start. How's that for having a great plan? But that's actually probably better. If I pull up on one of them and somebody's there, it doesn't make me nuts. We're going to also, when we get done here, stick around. Kevin is real. Kevin runs the shop in Arkansas, makes a lot of metal parts. Some plastic stuff too?
No.
All metal stuff. And has created some really cool stuff. If he's got one, we want to show you something for your trolling motor. But he showed me today my trim gauge has not been working right. So he's going to show us today how to fix our trim gauges. And he says it's 2 bolts and just a little tweaking, and real simple to get to. So we'll do that and include it at the tail end of this video. So if you ever have trim gauge issues with your Mercuries, it's a simple fix. You don't have to carry it in and get it worked on. You can do it yourself there at the house. So we'll do that next, and then next time you see us, we'll be fishing in the Texas Team Trail and hopefully boat flipping 9-pounders. Oh, one more interesting thing. So we just ran across Phil Marks a few minutes ago, and I was giving him a little bit of a hard time. I told him I thought there'd be a regatta following him around. And he made a comment to me that mirrors a comment Albert Collins made the other day. So Phil, if you don't know, or if this is way out in the future, in the BFL a couple of weeks ago, Phil caught 27 pounds. And then Saturday he caught 37 pounds, a 9 2/8, and then 2 more big ones in the Texas Team Trail, and kind of ran away with that tournament. And he was up fishing the grass, and I was giving him a hard time about it. And he said, "My fish are gone." And I said, and he said, "The water's come up 6 inches," and that's just crazy to me. Albert Collins made the same comment several weeks ago that he had been catching them out deep, and he said, I said, "How are you going to do tomorrow?" He goes, "I'm not going to catch them."
Y'all sick of that by now?
Hey, look, it's Dickie Newberry.
Aren't y'all sick of him by now?
They are sick of me by now. So I was just telling them, we just ran across Phil Marks. He's up fishing the grass. And he said, "My fish are gone, the lake's come up 6 inches." Be careful. I'm telling you, he's up fishing the grass. Now, it could be a great decoy, but
He may already got him.
he didn't seem, he said he idled over them this morning and they weren't there. So anyway, what I was going to say was, what? Yeah, we would all hate for Phil's 37-pound stringers to be gone. That's true. That's right. But Albert made the same comment the other day. He said, "I'm not going to catch them. The lake's come up 2 inches." So that's just crazy to me. Those guys are that tuned into that deep bite. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'd be real stunned if he didn't have at least a couple of great big ones.
Hey,
but
Smith, you went and checked my fish. Did you find any?
I did check your fish, and they didn't bite for me. You checked them. Did they bite?
Yeah.
Dadgummit. Anyway, so his drag fish are still there that y'all will see at some point us catching. Anyway, I've heard of a photo bomb. That was kind of a video bomb. So anyway, we'll show y'all Kev's fix here in a minute, and thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you're not. Please share with your buddies. And by the way, I've had some folks share my videos on Facebook. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. That helps me get to a whole different audience. So if you share on Facebook, I appreciate that as well. Y'all have a good whatever you're doing. If you're at the office, get back to work. Quit screwing around watching fishing videos. I never do that at the office. We'll see y'all soon. Thanks. All right, welcome to beautiful downtown Zavala. The biggest building in Zavala is the Brookshire Brothers. The second biggest building in Zavala is my boat barn. Kevin Treese is going to be your boat mechanic today. He's from Arkansas, which means he's really, really smart, and he's pretty doggone handsome too, I must say. We're going to show you. So my gauge on my trim tab on my trim got to where when I trimmed it all the way down, it was only showing about half. So Kevin's going to show us how to do this. The first thing we do is trim the motor up, right?
Trim the motor all the way up.
All right, so we're going to trim it up. Is that far enough?
Just so we can access this sending gauge for the trim. That's what this is right here.
Okay.
We take a 5/16 nut driver, loosen the 2 bolts up. Okay. Just slightly loosen them.
No, you're not loosening them.
Well, but
he is smart.
we loosen these 2 nuts up slightly. Okay, and then this sending gauge sets on slots. You can see it move here. loosen it up a little more.
enough.
You can see it move, see? Slots. So we'll just move it. I'm gonna move it back to where it was and tighten it back. It's that simple. That's your adjustment for your trim gauge. If it doesn't work right, adjust that. Play with it. You have to trim it all the way up to check it.
So then what we did earlier when we fixed it was he would basically have me trim it all the way down, and I'd be looking at the gauge, and when it got down until we got it right where it needed to be, and now my trim gauge works great. So that's incredibly simple, and will save you a trip to the marine dealer. Because let's face it, the guys that own marine dealers, has your marine guy ever called you just to say hello?
No, sir.
What do they call you for?
A car payment. Right.
Guys that own marine, just call us and say hi. It's Valentine's Day. Just call me and say happy Valentine's Day. That wouldn't be too much to ask. You don't have to call me and tell me, it ain't gonna be ready on time, or it's gonna cost more money than we